Welcome to another deep dive. This time we're going beyond the headlines about Elon Musk.
Beyond the headline.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we've got excerpts from an account of his Senate hearing about SpaceX.
Oh, wow.
And you're going to hear how Musk turned a grilling about budgets and delays into like a powerful argument for humanity's future in space.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
get ready for some tense moments, bold claims, and maybe even a few surprises along the way.
Okay, I'm ready.
So what's really fascinating about this source is it captures not just the hearing itself, but the atmosphere of the room.
Okay, yeah.
It was packed with journalists, staffers, everyone like eager to see how this showdown between Silicon Valley and Washington would play out.
Right. Like, how is this going to go?
Yeah.
Because this is a big deal, right?
Yeah, and the source describes Musk walking in looking calm and collected despite, stepping into a lion's den.
Yeah, he's got a lot of pressure on him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But what I found interesting is that the hearing wasn't just about SpaceX's performance. It was about America's role in this new space race.
That's right. There were concerns about delays in SpaceX's satellite launches.
Yeah.
Questions about safety protocols and anxieties about whether the U.S. was falling behind countries like China
Yeah.
in the race for space dominance.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It was a high-stakes situation, and the senators didn't hold back.
No, they did not.
The committee chair opened by laying out the concerns, missed deadlines, budget overruns, and the potential impact on national security.
Okay.
And it's important to remember that SpaceX was relying on government contracts and taxpayer dollars.
Oh, for sure.
So the senators were essentially asking, are we getting our money's worth? Is this a gamble worth taking?
Yeah, very valid questions.
Absolutely. And, instead of getting defensive,
Right.
Musk kind of flips the script.
Oh.
He acknowledges the challenges of space exploration, stating space is hard,
Yeah.
and argued that the traditional metrics of success didn't apply to a company pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
I see.
He essentially said, you can't measure us by the same standards you use for, like, a highway construction project.
Right.
We're trying to do something unprecedented.
Of course.
And that comes with inherent risks and uncertainties.
Yeah, for sure.
But Senator Brooks from Massachusetts
Okay.
wasn't buying it.
Oh.
She grilled Musk about accountability, safety concerns, and the need to be, like, responsible stewards of taxpayer money.
And she raised a crucial point.
Yeah.
While innovation is essential,
Yeah.
it can't come at the cost of cutting corners or ignoring potential risks.
Right.
Especially when those risks could involve human lives and billions of dollars in investment.
Absolutely. And then Senator Harrison from Ohio jumped in,
Oh, boy.
connecting the delays in SpaceX's launches to potential national security risks.
Mm-hmm.
He argued that in a world of rapidly advancing technology, any lag in our space capabilities could put the U.S. at a disadvantage.
Yeah, that's a good point he makes.
Yeah.
Underscores the growing geopolitical importance of space. It's no longer just about scientific exploration.
Right.
It's about military dominance, economic competitiveness, and even the future of global power dynamics.
So you've got Musk in the hot seat, facing tough questions from skeptical senators.
Yeah.
You might expect him to get flustered or defensive,
Right.
but that's not what happened.
Okay, so what did he do?
He remained calm and collected, even injecting some humor into his responses.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He didn't shy away from the criticism, but he also didn't back down from his vision.
Okay.
He countered the senator's concerns by emphasizing his commitment to responsible innovation.
Okay.
He talked about the rigorous safety protocol SpaceX follows and pointed to the company's track record of successful missions.
So he's saying, like, look, I understand your concerns.
Yeah.
And we take safety very seriously.
Yeah.
But you also have to understand that progress requires taking calculated risks.
Right.
We're not recklessly gambling with lives or money. We're pushing boundaries in a responsible way.
And this is where things get really interesting. Musk shifts from defense to offense.
Okay.
And he starts painting a picture of a future where humanity is no longer confined to Earth.
Okay.
He talks about building cities on Mars, harnessing the resources of asteroids, and becoming a multi-planetary species.
Wow.
It's a bold vision, almost like something out of science fiction.
Yeah, it is pretty wild.
And that's precisely what some of the senators argued.
Oh.
They questioned the feasibility of Musk's grand plans,
Yeah.
suggesting that he was more focused on futuristic fantasies than on solving real-world problems here on Earth.
Okay.
But Musk didn't back down.
It didn't.
He argued that space exploration isn't a distraction from earthly concerns.
No.
It's a solution to them.
Okay.
He presented his famous insurance policy argument,
Right.
stating that humanity needs a backup plan in case something catastrophic happens to our planet.
That's an interesting point.
Yeah.
It taps into a growing sense of anxiety about humanity's future.
Yeah.
You've likely seen the headlines about climate change, resource depletion,
Yeah.
pandemics, even the potential for asteroid impacts.
Right.
Musk is essentially saying that space offers a way to hedge our bets,
Uh-huh.
to ensure the survival of our species, even if Earth becomes uninhabitable.
And he even drew parallels to historical innovations, like the light bulb in the airplane.
Okay.
Things that seemed impossible at the time, but ended up transforming our world.
Right.
He argued that space exploration could have a similarly profound impact,
Yeah.
revolutionizing everything from transportation to energy production.
But while his comparison of space travel to the invention of the light bulb might seem like a stretch,
Yeah.
there's a historical parallel here.
Yeah.
Many groundbreaking inventions were initially ridiculed or dismissed as impractical.
Right.
The challenge for Musk is to convince people that space isn't just a luxury,
Right.
but a necessity for human progress.
It's a bold claim, and it raises some important questions.
Cool.
Is space exploration really the answer to our problems here on Earth?
Right.
Are we putting too much faith in technology to solve issues that are deeply rooted in human behavior and social structures?
It's a complex debate, and there are no easy answers.
Yeah.
But what's clear is that Musk successfully shifted the conversation,
Yeah.
forcing people to think about the long-term implications of space exploration
Right.
and its potential role in shaping the future of humanity.
It's like he injected a dose of inspiration into the often cynical world of politics.
I can see that.
He reminded everyone that there are things worth fighting for,
Yeah.
dreams worth pursuing, even if they seem impossible at first glance.
Yeah, like that.
And what's fascinating is that he manages to connect with the senators on a personal level.
Okay. How so?
He talks about his motivation for founding SpaceX,
Yeah.
his belief in humanity's potential,
Yeah.
and our responsibility to ensure its survival.
That's powerful.
That's a powerful moment.
Yeah.
You can sense that even the most skeptical senators are being moved by his passion and conviction.
Yeah.
The usually combative atmosphere of the hearing shifts, and there's a sense of thoughtful contemplation taking over.
Wow.
He essentially forces everyone in the room to lift their gaze from the spreadsheets and schedules
Yeah.
and confront something much bigger,
Okay.
the destiny of humanity itself.
I like that.
And that's where we'll pick up after a quick break.
Oh, okay.
We'll dive deeper into Musk's specific arguments, the responses he faced, and what this all means for the future of space exploration and for humanity itself.
I can't wait.
Stay with us.
So before we jump back into that Senate hearing room, think for a second about how the invention of the internet has transformed your life.
Yeah.
What if space exploration could have similarly profound and even more dramatic effects on how we live, work, and interact with the world?
It's a really interesting thought.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the kind of vision Elon Musk was laying out for those senators.
Yeah, he was basically saying we can cling to this familiar, increasingly fragile planet,
Right.
or we can reach for the stars and secure our future.
Yeah, but to do that, he had to convince those senators that investing in SpaceX wasn't just throwing money at some billionaire's sci-fi fantasy.
It's a good point.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's where his insurance policy argument comes in.
right.
And it's interesting because it taps into a growing anxiety about humanity's future on Earth.
Oh, for sure.
We're bombarded with headlines about climate change, resource depletion, and potential pandemics.
Yeah.
Musk is essentially saying space offers a backup plan,
Yeah.
a way to diversify our risks as a species.
But Senator Brooks wasn't letting him off that easy.
Oh, no.
She argued that even if space is the future,
Right.
we can't just ignore pressing problems here on Earth.
Yeah.
She pushed back on the idea that we should be pouring billions into rockets and Mars missions when we have people struggling with poverty, hunger, and lack of access to health care.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
It's about priorities, right?
Yeah.
If we're truly concerned about humanity's future,
Yeah.
shouldn't we focus on creating a more just and sustainable society here on Earth before we start venturing out to other planets?
Musk countered by arguing that space exploration isn't an either proposition.
Okay.
He said investing in space technology drives innovation that has tangible benefits back on Earth.
Like what?
Think about GPS,
Yeah?
satellite communication, advancements in material science, all stemming from space programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So he was presenting it as a win-win,
okay.
claiming that by pushing the boundaries in space, we also create new industries, generate jobs, and develop technologies that can help address some of those very problems Senator Brooks was concerned about.
Okay, I see.
He even talked about the potential for asteroid mining,
Oh, wow.
suggesting that accessing the vast resources of space could solve resource scarcity issues and unlock new possibilities for energy production.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
It does, right?
Yeah.
And many critics argue that it is.
Oh.
They point out that the technological challenges and costs associated with asteroid mining are astronomical,
Right?
and the potential environmental impacts are largely unknown. It's easy to get swept up in Musk's enthusiasm,
Uh-huh.
but it's important to remember that his vision is just that vision.
Yeah.
There are immense practical, ethical, and financial hurdles to overcome before we can start mining asteroids or building cities on Mars.
And that's where Senator Harrison comes back in.
Oh, yeah.
He raised concerns about national security and international competition,
Yeah.
while Musk was talking about a future where humanity unites to colonize Mars.
Yeah.
The reality is that space is becoming increasingly militarized.
Oh, for sure.
Countries like China are rapidly developing their space capabilities, launching satellites,
Right.
testing anti-satellite weapons,
Yeah.
and even planning their own lunar missions.
Oh, wow.
Senator Harrison was essentially asking, can SpaceX keep up?
Right.
Are we putting all our eggs in one basket?
Yeah.
And is that basket even going to hold?
It's a really good question.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a geopolitical reality check.
Yeah.
Space is becoming the new frontier of power. And the stakes are high, not just for scientific advancement,
Right.
but for national security and economic dominance.
So while Musk's vision is captivating,
Yeah.
it has to be considered within the context of these broader geopolitical realities.
Right.
It's not just about inspiring dreams of a multiplanetary future.
Yeah.
It's about navigating the complexities of international relations
Right.
and ensuring that the U.S. maintains its leadership position in space.
And let's not forget the economic aspect.
Oh, yeah.
Musk argued that every dollar spent on space exploration is an investment in inspiration.
Yeah.
He painted a picture of a future where space tourism creates new industries.
Right.
Asteroid mining generates wealth,
Mm-hmm.
and humanity as a whole benefits from the technological advancements driven by space exploration.
It's a compelling argument, but it raises some tricky questions.
Like what?
Who benefits from this space-driven economic boom?
Right.
Is it distributed equitably? Or do we end up with a scenario where a handful of corporations and wealthy individuals reap the rewards while the rest of humanity is left behind?
Those are the kind of questions we need to be asking as we venture further into the cosmos.
Yeah.
It's not just about the technical challenges.
Right?
It's about ensuring that space exploration benefits all of humanity,
Yeah.
not just a privileged few.
It's one of the things that's so fascinating about this hearing.
Yeah.
It touched on so many different themes.
Like what?
Space exploration,
Mm-hmm.
technological innovation,
Okay.
economics,
Right.
geopolitics,
Yeah.
even philosophy.
It really made you think.
Yeah, it forced those senators and us as listeners
Yeah.
to think about what it truly means to be human,
Yeah.
about our place in the universe,
Wow.
and our responsibilities to future generations.
And it ignited a public conversation.
It did.
The source mentions how clips of the hearing went viral on social media,
Oh, wow.
sparking debates and discussions all over the world. Really? Suddenly, everyone was an armchair astronaut
Yeah.
weighing in on the pros and cons of space exploration.
It's really interesting.
Yeah.
That's the power of a compelling vision.
Yeah.
It can inspire and provoke,
Uh-huh.
challenge assumptions,
Right.
and spark new ways of thinking.
It's like Musk injected a dose of inspiration into the often cynical and jaded world of politics,
I agree.
reminding people that there are things worth fighting for,
Yeah.
dreams worth pursuing, even if they seem impossible at first glance.
He didn't just defend SpaceX.
Right.
He defended the dream of humanity reaching for the stars.
Yeah, but the question remains,
Yeah.
did he actually convince those skeptical senators?
Right.
Did anything change after the hearing adjourned?
So we've been unpacking this fascinating account of Elon Musk's Senate hearing.
Yeah.
And it's clear he achieved something remarkable.
What's up?
He shifted the conversation from budgets and timelines to a grand vision of humanity's future in space.
He did.
But did this translate into, like, real-world change?
Well, it wasn't like suddenly everyone in Washington was on board with colonizing Mars.
yeah.
There were no immediate policy shifts or massive funding increases for SpaceX.
Okay.
But something more subtle happened. Something you might even call a cultural shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So the source describes it as a broadening of the narrative around space exploration.
Uh-huh.
Instead of being seen as a niche interest for scientists and billionaires, it started entering the mainstream consciousness as something relevant to everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that, in a way, is a bigger win for Musk than any specific policy outcome.
Really?
He planted the seed of an idea.
What's that?
The space isn't just some distant frontier. It's intertwined with our future here on Earth.
Think about it. Just a few years ago,
Yeah.
talking about asteroid mining or Martian cities would have been dismissed as science fiction.
Oh, totally.
Now, thanks in part to Musk's relentless advocacy,
Uh-huh.
these ideas are being discussed seriously in boardrooms, research labs,
Right.
and even around dinner tables.
Yeah, you're right. I have heard people talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
More and more.
Exactly.
That's not to say everyone's suddenly a believer in Musk's vision.
right.
There's still plenty of healthy skepticism, and rightly so.
Of course.
But the point is, he's made it okay to talk about these ambitious, even audacious goals that were once considered fringe ideas.
It's like he shifted the Overton window.
The Overton window.
Yeah, that range of what's considered politically acceptable or mainstream.
Right.
Suddenly, investing in space exploration wasn't just about national pride or scientific curiosity.
Yeah.
It was about securing humanity's future, driving innovation, and even tackling problems like climate change.
And the public reaction was telling.
It was.
The source mentions how clips of the hearing went viral, sparking heated debates online.
Oh, wow.
People were arguing about the ethics of colonizing other planets, the feasibility of Musk's plans, and the role of private companies in shaping our future in space.
It's amazing how these things can take off. It's fascinating how Musk, even when facing tough questions and criticism, managed to turn this hearing into a platform for promoting his vision.
He did.
He didn't just defend SpaceX.
Right.
He sparked a national, even global conversation about humanity's destiny among the stars.
And that, I think, is the most enduring legacy of this hearing.
Yeah.
It's not about specific policy changes or funding allocations.
Right.
It's about changing the way we think about our place in the universe and the possibilities that lie ahead.
It's a reminder that ideas have power.
Yeah.
A single person with a compelling vision, even if they're considered eccentric or controversial,
Right.
can spark a movement, shift public opinion, and ultimately shape the course of history.
It's pretty incredible.
It is.
And it leaves us with some important questions to ponder.
What are those?
What other seemingly impossible dreams are out there,
Yeah.
waiting for someone with the courage and conviction to champion them?
Right.
What role will we as individuals and as a society
Yeah.
play in shaping this future that's unfolding before our eyes?
Those are really thought-provoking questions.
Yeah.
Well, this deep dive into Elon Musk's Senate hearing wasn't just about SpaceX or space exploration.
No, it wasn't.
It was about the power of vision, the importance of challenging assumptions, and the audacity to dream big even when faced with skepticism and doubt.
So to our listeners, we leave you with this.
Okay.
What seemingly impossible dreams do you believe in?
Yeah.
What future do you want to help create? The conversation doesn't end here.
It doesn't.
Share your thoughts, engage with others, and let's continue exploring the boundless possibilities that lie ahead.